Dear listeners, my name is Anthony Clark.
And I'm Melanie Clark.
And we are The Amazing Clarks. We're both award-winning certified life and love coaches and a husband and wife duo that have been coaching together as a team for 24 years and that have been passionately in love for 34. They call us The Amazing Clarks because we empower people to live amazing lives.
And we're here to help you get from where you are to where you want to be in life and love. Love the Amazing Clarks is our personal love letter to everyone who loves love.
That's right. And you know that we love love.
Yes, we do.
So today we have another amazing episode for you guys. In today's podcast, we're going to continue our series from our ebook, How to Stop Being an Irritating Person, 20 Irritating Traits That Pushes People Away and How to Fix Them. So if you're an irritating person, you're in the right place. So each week, like we said, we cover one topic from the book. Today's topic we're going to cover is being manipulative.
Oh, so good.
Do manipulating people irritate you? Are you a person that manipulates people? And if you are, then there's a good chance that could be negatively affecting your dating life, your relationships in general, your marriage. So on today's episode, we're going to look at that. And if you are doing that, then we're going to help you to change it.
Yes.
But before we jump into the main topic, it's time for catching up with the Clarks.
Yes.
So this is where we let you guys kind of get a little peek into our inside world and what's going on with us. So, babe, anything you want to share?
Yes. I'm really excited to announce that I have come up with my grandmother name.
Talk about that.
Right?
Good one.
So, ever since I found out that I was going to be a grandmother, everyone has asked me, so what do you want your grandchild to call you? And I was just being like, grandma, I guess, grandmother. I mean, what else is, right? And it's funny because I have two sisters that are grandmothers. I'm the last of the sisters to become a grandmother. My older sister's grandmother and my younger sister's grandmother. I'm in the middle.
No, you don't look like a grandmother.
Thank you. It's okay if I'm a grandmother now. I'm old enough to be a grandmother, so I have no resistance to it whatsoever. But my older sister goes by Nana and my younger sister goes by Gogo because they didn't want to be called grandmother. And so I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm going to be grandma. But recently I heard one of my clients call their grandmother Mimi. So I have decided I want to be a Mimi. So I'm going to be Mimi to our grandson,
Mimi.
Ace. So that's going to be my grandmother name. And I love it so much. I can't wait to be called Mimi.
I love it. Good job, Mimi.
Thank you.
You're such a Mimi.
And thanks to my client for inspiring me. Because I hadn't heard anything that just felt right for me. And when I heard it, I was like, that's it. I am Mimi. That is who I'm going to be. So we also decided on yours. Thank you. We decided on yours. What's yours, Anthony? What's your grandfather name going to be?
Because it was kind of cute because after you came up with yours, like, okay, now we got to come up with one.
We got to do yours too. Of course. That wasn't manipulative, was it?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay, good.
No. That was smooth. Actually, at first I just thought like, what the hell does it matter? Just
doesn't
then
matter.
I started like throwing names out there, words out there, like phrases like granddad, grandpa. And it's like, no, I don't like that. I don't like that either. It does matter, I guess.
It does matter, yes.
It does matter. And so eventually, I think you came up with Pop Pop.
Yes, Pop. Yes, I love Pop for you. It's so cute.
Yeah, Pop and Mimi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Amazing Clarks are now Pop and Mimi. Melanie and Anthony went from Mimi to Mimi and Pop.
Yeah, good job.
So that was exciting.
So we're ready.
We're ready.
We're ready now.
We're ready to be grandparents. We got our names.
That's right.
This weekend is the baby shower. We're going to get on the other side of that. Everything works itself out. Everything is falling into place. And now we are just ready to receive our little sweet Ace. When he's ready to come, we are ready for him.
Yes. You know, last week when you were out of town and I went to the movies, I had a daddy-daughter date with my daughter, Tony.
Okay.
And that was great. I meant to talk about that too. That was really fun.
Oh, I love when you guys do stuff
just
together.
Went to the movies to check out that new movie that's out. What is it called?
Sinners,
yeah. Then went to eat afterwards. Had a great time. So just that daddy-daughter time just never gets old.
You bring up a great point, and I don't know if people think about this when they think about relationships, but parenting really never ends, right? We think our kids are going to grow up, and then we think like they're going to grow up, they're going to leave, and they're going to go off and live their lives and not need us. I am here to tell you, your kids are going to need you forever. When they're having kids, they want your expertise. Even when they're adults and they act like they don't need you, they still always need your love. So I love that we both do this. We make time for our adult children individually and still do things with them, like go to the movies, go to dinner, spend one-on-one time with them. It's my absolute favorite. So I hope that it gives people something to look forward to. Your adult children still need your love, and you can still have really amazing good times with them, even though they're grown-ups. So good job, honey.
Good job, Mimi.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, Pop Pop.
Good job. Good job. Okay, people. So now that you guys caught up with the Clarks, it's time for the main topic. Okay. Irritating people. The topic today is being a manipulator. Now, when we wrote this ebook, we really did it from the heart because there's people in our lives, for example, that we want to get closer to, but they have some irritating traits. And it was like, oh man, if you only could fix this. But you don't always want to tell people about it, about themselves. So it was like, you know what, maybe write an ebook where people could see it and they'll see it and they'll see it and see themselves and make the change. And we can get closer. So, and once again, even looking at myself, it was like, I want to make sure that I'm not doing any of these irritating things. And these are things that we've seen over the years that causes the most problems in people's dating life and their relationships. It's these irritating traits. And so as we go through it, it's not to judge anybody. It's just to look at that and go, am I doing that? Why am I doing that? How can we do better?
How can we do better? Yeah, I think really that's what it's about. How can we do better?
Yeah, I agree. So manipulators. Yeah, I got to say that is one that irritates the crap out of me. When people are trying to manipulate me. And I can see it 100 miles away, which makes it even more like, what? Are you kidding me? You know, manipulate me with the tears or manipulate me like with the setup story. Like, hell, here. And it's like, it's so hard to have to deal with that, sometimes. But I give people space. It's like, okay, let you play a little game. I just have the upper hand on you because I'm ahead of your game. But manipulation is definitely one of the fastest ways to push people away from you.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of times I don't think that people who are manipulating even know that they're manipulating. Like I will see it a lot in coaching people because I do a lot of support coaching, right? Text coaching. People text me about things they're going through in their relationships. And some of the things that they do, if I say to them like, that's being manipulative or you're manipulating the situation, they're like, really? Am I? That's not what I meant. So I think it is human behavior to try to get what you want any way that you can get it. And I don't think that people always know that they're doing it. So I think this is a really great topic to talk about so that if people are doing it and they're not aware, they could see that they're doing it. Because to me, what manipulation does to the recipient of the manipulation is it just makes you feel like, I can't trust you, you're not honest, you're not real. And that you will do anything to get what you want and you don't actually care about what I want and need.
But I agree with you. And there's different levels to this. You know what I'm saying? So there's some people that, like you said, everybody, no matter what irritating traits, just because you do it once or twice or here and there, doesn't mean that that's a big major issue.
Or that's who you are.
Yeah, who you are.
Yeah.
But then there are levels to it. You have people that are manipulating, they're not aware of it. They've just been taught to do that. But then you have people that are professional bullshitters and manipulators, and they know exactly what they're doing. And it's a strategy. It's a technique that they use over and over and over again. And so it just depends on what level you're playing on. And the ones that irritate me the most are the ones that are the bullshitters.
I can tell by the way you said it. Tell us about it, Anthony. Why does that irritate you? Let us know.
It irritates me because I used to be a manipulator, and I know where it's coming from. I know what it feels like.
Okay, can I make a point? This is such a great point. Usually the things that irritate you the most in life are because you were doing it, you are doing it, or you have done it. So if something annoys you, it's probably because you're connected to it. But go ahead.
Yeah. And I say this because, once again, I got to go back to growing up in New York and Brooklyn. You had to manipulate. It was like you have to fight, you have to manipulate, you have to, all of the things that you would normally be taught, like, these are bad traits.
Don't do
this. In New York, it's like, you better do this.
Right.
If you don't do this, and you're going to get, it's like, you're going to be the prey or predator.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you're going to get preyed upon.
Yeah.
So you're forced to do it. So I was kind of in a situation where I knew it wasn't the way I wanted to do it, but it was like, if I'm going to survive, I got to play this game. And so I learned how to play the game, and I got really good at getting the things that I wanted and manipulating people. And after I got to a certain age, it was like, I don't want to do it like that anymore.
Yeah.
Let me use those skills to manipulate people, I will say, in a positive way.
Right.
So it's not really taking advantage of them. It's actually to help to enable and empower people through coaching, for example.
Right.
And coaching is, to some degree, is a form of manipulation, positive manipulation, where I'm going to take my skills and see where they're at and see where they're trying to get to. So I'm going to use these strategies to lead them to that without them realizing that that's where they're being led.
Right.
So it could be used in both ways.
Interesting.
But now when I see people trying to manipulate me for negative, to take advantage or to try to get over, it's like, I see it from so far away because I understand that frequency.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. So how do you feel that manipulation affects relationships and dating?
I think in dating, let's start with that.
Okay.
What would that look like in dating? Okay. Men would use it all the time. I'll start with men, especially guys that know women. You know the right things to say. You know how to approach her. You know to tell her the things she wants to hear. You know to take her to the right restaurant. And there's manipulation for sex. Most of the time, guys will use manipulation for sex. Who do you want me to be? I'll play that game.
Yeah.
That's a form of manipulation.
So they'll do and say whatever they need to say to get sex, and then game over.
Right.
It was just the end game was the sex, and then it's a done deal.
Right. Right.
Okay. And what about
what about you dating? How would you say? Wait, let me ask you this: in dating, have you ever been manipulative?
Have I ever been manipulative in dating? I'm sure I have. But I haven't dated for a long time, so I don't know if I could remember specific instances. But yeah, I think kind of manipulating all the time and it's not necessarily negative. Okay, here's an example. You could tell me if you think this is manipulation. So when we were dating and you used to be late all the time and it drove me crazy and I did not like it, I started just leaving and not waiting for you. Because I figured either you're going to stop being late because you're going to realize I'm not sitting around waiting on you, or we're going to break up. So I just started not waiting for you. Like, all right, I'm going to leave by this time. But my hope was that you would adjust your behavior by me adjusting my behavior. And I kind of think that's what manipulation is, right? Like, I'm going to do something hoping that you'll respond differently because of what I'm doing. So would you say that I was being manipulative in our dating?
I think that would be more strategic.
Oh, so that was more strategy than manipulation. Okay.
Right. You weren't trying to do it to take advantage of me or to take anything from me.
No.
You were trying to just kind of adjust the situation to make it better.
Okay.
Better outcomes.
So I don't know that I've manipulated anybody. I don't think I've tried to take advantage of anyone in dating. Like, that's just not my personality. Like, I never want to take advantage of anyone.
Well, one of the big manipulation techniques people use is to, let's say, and this is across the board, dating relationships. And these are the ones that I'm like, the ones that buy you things.
Oh,
okay. Now that I bought you this.
Yeah.
Now you owe me.
Now you owe me.
Now you owe me, and I can treat you anyway. So it's the setup. The setup is to get you to accept that gift of that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that they have control over your behavior. So you'll act a different way. You'll act some kind of way. Okay. That makes sense.
So I think that it's, I know in my family, in my circles, it's like constant different techniques of manipulation. As, for example, there's let's manipulate with gossip.
Oh.
Let me get you in here with this gossip. Now that I got you saying something or agreeing with something, then I'm going to use it to
get what I want from the person we're gossiping about.
Yeah. That one sucks.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, that one sucks.
That really is. So I just think when it comes to manipulation, it's people just trying to get what they want and not taking the best route. I personally feel very guilty, and it eats at me if I do something that's hurting another person, especially purposefully. So manipulation isn't one of my main tools. I can fall into a little mom guilt every once in a while. Like I'll catch myself like, oh, you're not going to do that. You know, I'm your mom or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's more mom guilt than manipulation. But I catch it when I do it. And I'm like, ooh, I don't want to do that. So I'll generally like catch it and apologize and be like, I'm sorry, babe, do whatever you want to do. But I really do want you to do what I want you to do, right?
Is it the guilt? Yeah, that's the parental.
Yeah, but I catch it when I do it. I'm like, oh, this is annoying, Melanie. Stop doing that. Like, don't do that to these young people. Yeah. Tell them what you want, and if they say no, that's okay too. It's fine.
Yeah,
you know. So it's a lot of self-talk, and again, you guys, the whole point of this is learning to manage yourself, right? Manage your mind, manage your thoughts, because we are set up in a way where we're survivalists and we want to survive and we will use any means necessary. And so this is one of the ways that we feel we can survive, but we don't have to use it. So Anthony, can you teach us a little bit more about manipulation so it can be a choice and not just a go-to tool or strategy that we use to get what we want out of life?
Yeah, let's jump into that. But I want to address a couple of more different types of manipulators.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, it comes in different forms.
Okay.
Another one a lot of people use are tears, crying.
Okay.
Women tend to use it more than men, from my perspective, especially in relationships. So there's going to be times when you're going to be hurt. That's okay. Everybody has emotions, but some women tend to use the tears just cut down conversation. So it's like, once I start crying, I'm going to say what I want to say, but then once I start crying, then that shuts off the conversation.
Yeah.
Or now you're attacking me because I'm crying. Now you're attacking me. So it's like it's like a pass. Expecting it.
Okay, so I feel like that's a little bit like I agree and disagree. And I think that's one you got to be really careful with, because I'm a woman and I have tears. And
right, that's what I said.
And I know a lot of women who have tears.
Of course, men have tears too, but...
And I don't always think tears show up as manipulation. Sometimes tears show up as frustration. Sometimes tears show up as releasing energy. Sometimes tears show up as just not knowing what to do or how to get out of a situation. And it's just, to me, it's a release of energy. But then by the same token, I do agree. I have seen women use tears to manipulate a situation. So I just want to create clarity that all tears are not about women manipulating. Sometimes we just can't help it. Like I have cried out of anger more than anything, right? Because I'm just pissed and I can't figure out how to resolve something, or I don't feel heard or understood, and it's frustration.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think most women I know. Most women don't use the tears, but there are those that definitely do.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I would not say most.
Well, I've watched enough Karen videos to know that some people use tears as I have a thing for watching Karen videos, right? And that's one of the main tactics that Karens use is the tears to make people feel sorry for them, to make their point a valid point. So definite manipulation.
And then men can do it too. Men do it with as far as like being cold.
Oh, or angry.
Angry, or the silent treatment. I'm just not going to talk to you. That's a form of manipulation.
Yeah, 100%. I think men use it with anger a lot too. Like, shutting stuff down, like growling and slamming stuff and storming off. And it's like, whoa, we don't know what's on the other side of that, so back up, right? So they know if they just show a little bit of that anger, then we'll back down. So that's manipulation.
And I think manipulation is one of my big triggers too, because I deal on trust. Trust is really important to me. And I can handle anything. You can talk to me about anything as long as we're honest about it.
Yeah.
I can accept anything. But as soon as I feel like there's some deceit, some manipulation, then there's no trust. And if there's no trust, then we're done.
That makes all the sense in the world.
So now let's look at some of the reasons why people do it.
All right.
So before we get to how to fix it, why do people act manipulative? Always got to go back to, usually starts with being the way you were raised. You were raised in an environment.
Programming.
Yeah. Where that's the technique, like I said, in Brooklyn. I was raised in an environment where that's just how you did it.
Yeah.
And everybody was doing that. Insecurity. People use manipulation to gain control or validation. Fear of rejection. So you're trying to go around the back door instead of trying to go through the front.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get that rejection. Yeah. That one sucks.
I've seen that a lot in relationships. Yeah. The fear of rejection.
Desire for power. Feelings you need to dominate someone or control them.
Yeah. I would say that last one I would put under the ego. Because I've seen people manipulate because of the ego, right? Like they can't stand that somebody said something negative about them or has a belief about them or is reacting to them in a certain way. So they'll jump through all kinds of hoops to get that person to change their mind or treat them different. And that can turn into some real manipulative actions and thoughts and words. So yeah, the ego definitely uses manipulation as a tool to win.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. It could be used for positive ways. You could use manipulation. You could use it for
negative.
Yeah, just true. Depends. Yeah.
It's true, but it's a slippery slope. And I would just say to listeners who are starting to recognize this in themselves or see it in themselves, it generally is not a positive thing. And people will avoid you if they think that you are a manipulative person. I have never heard anyone say, I just love being around that person because they are just so good at manipulating me. Like, oh, they're so manipulative. It's my favorite trait. Like, I've never heard that. So, yeah, if you're doing this, it's something that you want to be aware of and ask yourself, am I taking advantage of this person? Am I just trying to get what I want and not caring how it's going to affect them in the long run? So,
yeah, and it usually starts with, as far as fixing it, you're right. Yeah. It starts with awareness.
Yeah.
First of all, it starts with wanting to be better. Because if you don't want it, no matter, there are no tools that are going to help you. There's no skills because you have to want it first.
Yeah.
And so,
real quick, can I talk about it in dating? Like I've heard so many of my female clients talk to me about things that they're doing in dating that are just so manipulative. And I have to tell them, like, that's manipulation. Don't do that.
Do share. Like what?
Things like, I'm going to go to this event and I'm going to try to get in his line of vision and I'm going to let him know that I'm going to be at this event later. And it's like, you're better off to just walk up to dude and be like, hey, hi, how are you? And would you be interested in joining me at this other event later? Like, because just like making yourself seen is manipulation, and they know you're doing it. Like, it's never not obvious when you're trying to get in front of somebody. You're better up just walking up to them and being, someone that communicates instead of trying to like, hey, look over here. I'm over here. Right? That part. I have to tell them all the time, like, don't do that. It's creepy. And then the other one, like trying to drop a hint, like, oh, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that. If you're interested in the person and you would like them to join you, you're better off doing that. And so many times they get so upset. They're like, I told him that I was going to be here and I told him I didn't have plans and he didn't ask me out. Well, because he knows you're manipulating him and it's annoying to him and he doesn't want to do it because it feels like manipulation, right? So a lot of those tactics in dating, or, I wore this sexy thing because I want him to ask me out again. And so I think this is going to do it. And I am a huge encourager of honest communication.
Definitely.
And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I don't know why you would want to date someone that you have to manipulate into asking you out. If you're not asking me out, I don't want to go out with you. Simple as that, right? Because I want whoever I go out with to be just as into me as I am into them.
You're talking grown folk stuff, though.
Yeah, I guess I am kind of spoiled because you're into me and I'm into you. But that's how I like it. I know that's how everybody likes it, but you can't manipulate people into liking you.
Mm-mm.
Either they do and they're going to show you and they're going to pursue you, or they're not. Oh, here's another manipulation one. I'm going to text, but I'm not going to say this or that in my text, and I'm going to keep my text really short, or I'm going to wait and answer because I don't want to seem like I'm desperate if I answer right away. Like, it's all manipulation in the communication. It's like, if you're excited to hear from somebody, let them know you're excited to hear from them. Why is that a bad thing?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so there's a lot of manipulation that happens in dating, I think, around communication.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it goes bad and it ends with a question mark over their head, I don't know what happened. I guarantee you, he don't know what happened either.
Yeah. Because
it's manipulation communication.
And in dating, that's one of the things that I know for a fact most men are very, very leery of. A lot of them have a story that a woman can't be trusted, that women are all manipulators.
Yeah.
So their guards are up.
Yeah.
So anytime they see any kind of manipulation, it's like, look, they get spooked off.
Yeah.
And so the women that are able to just be straightforward and honest and vulnerable, they actually do way better with men. Men are way more attracted to them. Even if it's not what they like. It's like, okay, I feel like I could lower my guards around you and be myself and feel safe, which is very, very appealing.
Yeah. And, I think women feel the same way too. They can tell when a guy's bullshitting or he's being an F-boy or he's just, talking their shits, right? And they could take if he's just straightforward, right? They have a choice. Like, I ain't trying to get in anything serious, but I'd like to hang out with you and get to know you. I don't know if I'm going to get serious with you. Somebody could take that better than, I'm not sure where I'm at right now and blah, blah, blah. It's like, just be real. You don't know. You don't know if you are going to get there. Be honest about that. Now I have a choice if I want to try.
There you go.
So, huge topic.
Good topic, yeah. But once again, it starts people. You want to make that change, you have to want it first.
Yep.
And once you want it, then start being aware of when you're doing it. And start having those conversations with yourself.
Yes.
And ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you being honest? Start questioning yourself.
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
Well, and if you guys want to learn more about this topic and want to learn how to overcome it, then once again, get a copy of the ebook available at theamazingclarks.com. How to stop being an irritating person, 20 irritating traits that pushes people away, and how to fix them.
Yes.
So good job.
Thank you. And I also want to thank all of you for hanging out with us. We love and appreciate you guys.
Yes, we do.
Make sure you're connecting with us over TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at The Amazing Clarks.
And if you haven't got a chance to get a copy of our book, Crack the Code, Secrets to Achieving Your Happily Ever After, make sure you pick up your copy today, available at Amazon.com. And if you're interested in becoming a life coach or just want to learn some skills to life coach yourself or the people around you, check out our life coach training and certification course at the Law of Attraction, lifecoachacademy.com. And last but not least, if you're interested in coaching with Anthony and Melanie Clark, we can coach via Zoom, we can coach on phone, or maybe even in person if you're in the Charlotte area or in the LA area at the right time, then reach out to us at theamazingclarks.com.
Yes. And remember, to go there, you got to grow there.
There you go, people. We gave it to you. Now, what you going to do with it?
Love the Amazing
Clarks. See you next time.